Hello everyone. In this session, we are looking at different types of supports which are used in vessel design. And there are supports for horizontal vessels, there are supports for vertical vessels. There are different types of supports such as leg supports, lug supports, saddles, skirt supports. We'll first look at the different types of supports which are there, and thereafter we will focus on one particular type of support which is used for designing of tall vertical vessels. In all support designs, the loading which is different and important is that of the wind loading, seismic loading, and in some situations no loading. So how to take care of this loading in the support design, we will see with an example with respect to the support for vertical vessels, specifically the skirt supports. We'll go into the detailed calculations for the skirt supports and understand how the design calculations can be done in a detailed manner. So let's proceed with the different types of supports which exist for the vessels. So here we are having the different types of supports which exist for the vessels. The first type of support which is there is known as the leg supports. So as the name suggests, if you have a vessel, I'm just schematically drawing it, you will have a number of legs. The legs can be 3 numbers, 4 numbers, and but they are distinct legs on which the vessel is standing. And there are different subcategories of the leg supports which we'll see in a while. The second is lug supports. So in contrast to the leg supports, the lug supports are much shorter in length. So you have certain support brackets which are attached to the vessel, and the vessel is supported at the bottom of this brackets. They are called as a lugs. So we'll see some cases of lug supports. In case of leg and lug supports, there is local stresses get generated because of localized nature of the supports. In green supports, you have a support which is attached throughout the circumference of the vessel. So you have the support which is attached for the full circumference of the vessel, and we'll see uh, some cases related to that. The third type is known as skirt supports. So skirt supports are again for vessels in which they are specifically for vertical vessels, uh, and in the skirt supports you have sort of full cylinder which is supporting the vessel. It could be a cylinder in cylindrical skirts, or it could be conical. So the shape could be in the conical of the conical shape, and accordingly they are called as cylindrical supports or conical supports. And finally we have saddle supports. So they are specifically for horizontal vessels. So if you have horizontal vessel, you will have saddles. They are some kind of steel structures which are attached to the vessel, and these supports require a different design uh, approach. So each of the support types, they differ in the approach used for their design, and we'll see in detail the approach for designing of skirt supports, and others we will have just an overview. So let's move ahead. So what pictures we see here, they are referring to the two different vessels. On the left hand side, you will see the vessels are of spherical storage tanks, and on the right hand side you have cylindrical vessels. In both cases, you will see that there are number of legs which are supporting the vessels. So these are known as the leg supports, or on this type you will find that not this one, but these are the leg supports which are used to support the vessel. The design of leg support consists of first taking the decision as to how many legs are to be supported. Obviously, it depends on how much load is to be carried. Typically, the number of legs start with three numbers, and at the max, like the large spherical storage vessel that we saw in the previous picture, you can have as much as 20 legs. So that is general range of number of legs those are used, and the legs are equally spaced in order to have a uniformity of load distribution against the dead weight of the equipment. For designing the leg supports, you have to consider, of course, the vertical weight. So weight which acts vertically, which is mainly the operating weight or the dead weight of the vessel. And there are horizontal forces. The horizontal forces can arise because of wind forces, or they could be seismic forces, or these are the two main horizontal forces which will arise, and we'll see later how to tackle the wind and seismic forces. Because of the horizontal forces, the vessel tends to topple, so there is a moment which is acting on this vessel, and you need to design the legs to take care of the maximum reaction which will additionally come because of this moment which acts on the vessel body, and it gets transmitted to the ground through the legs. So depending on how many number of legs are there, or different procedures are there by which you can design, calculate the reaction coming on the leg, and the design consists of finding the size of cross section for the leg as well as the joint design where the leg is joined to the vessel, so that has got double uh, complexity, in the sense there is internal pressure or external pressure acting that causes the some one kind of stresses, and the localized reaction which is acting at the junction, it gives rise to another kind of stresses. So you have to analyze both together. Most of the times either finite element method or the analytical methods both are available which can be used for doing these calculations. In the case of leg supports, we have to note that the legs can be braced. So what do you mean by bracing is the legs can be interconnected by means of some structural elements. So depending on what structural elements are used, they are classified as cross brace legs and sway brace legs. In the sway braces, the elements which are used for joining the legs together or bracing the legs together, they are tension only members. So they are tension only members. So essentially they are cables. They are stretched, and they can take only tension. So in a sense, if this leg tries to bend outward, this particular brace which is attached will prevent or try to resist that particular rotation of this particular leg, and that is how the braces help. The cross braces are tension and compression, so they are essentially structural members. So they could be L section, C section, or some steel bar. So it can take both tension and compression load. So there are advantages. The sway braces mainly have advantage in terms of cost, and also some other advantages are there. The cross braces can be pinned, so at the joint they can be pinned to each other, or they may be unpinned. The essentially, as I discussed, the bracing prevents the rotation or bending of the legs. So any leg which tries to bend, it is pulled back by means of presence of braces. You have to remember that the addition of braces puts some obstructions on the space which is available at the bottom of the leg. So if you want to take some kind of pipeline which is coming out of the bottom of the vessel, so these braces will provide uh, the obstruction to the pipeline, and you will have to reroute, or you have to take care of the routing of this pipeline so that it doesn't interfere with the braces. So that is one more point to be taken in the case of leg supports. Next, we'll have look at the lug supports. So as the name suggests, the lug supports are essentially a sort of brackets which are provided on the vessel. So on the left hand side, you see the lugs or the brackets are provided for a horizontal vessel. This is not the steel structure that you see here. This is not an actual vessel support, but this is just a transportation cradle. The actual vessel will be supported on some civil foundation or steel structure, a separate steel structure. On the left hand side, again, you will see a vessel which is under fabrication, as you can see here, but it is a vertical vessel. It is shown, it is under fabrication, hence it is with axis horizontal, and the lugs are seen towards the bottom of this particular vessel. So with the lug supports can be used both for the horizontal as well as for the vertical vessel. Similar situation is there for leg supports as well. They can be used both for horizontal and vertical vessels. The third type is a ring support. So as you have noticed that the lug support or leg support, they will induce a highly localized reaction onto the vessel. So in addition to the pressure stresses, this additional localized stresses need to be taken care of. If the vessel weight is very high, these stresses would be accordingly very high, and you need to have very high reinforcing to be provided in order to make stress levels less. So in such cases, you will use a full ring support. So you will have a full ring which is welded along the circumference of vessel. Again, this vessel, although shown in the horizontal position, in the operating condition, this vessel would be vertical. So we'll have a vertical vessel, and the ring that you have seen will be welded throughout the circumference of this vessel. So the rings are welded, or they are mounted on entire circumference of the vessel, and the support structure will come beneath this. The main advantage of the ring support is the load is getting distributed over the entire circumference of the vessel. So as a result, the implications of additional stresses which get added to the pressure stresses is less severe in the case of ring supports. However, there are some care to be taken in case of ring supports, which we'll see now. The first point we have seen, the ring supports are used when the local stresses are excessively high. So that is where the ring supports would be useful. Typically, the vessels which are supported on ring supports, so this particular ring will transmit the load of the vessel to the civil structure by means of some steel structure. So you may have some kind of steel structure which is mounted around the ring. So ring will be supported at maybe 4, 6 or certain number of points through some lugs or legs, which will finally get supported on a civil foundation, that is a concrete foundation. And since there is an intermediate steel structure which is coming in addition to the ring support, the analysis of wind and seismic forces and their effects on the ring design is more complicated. So that is what this second point means, that the steel structure introduces more complexity in the design of the ring supports. There is one precaution which needs to be taken in case of the ring supports, and that is as follows, that the ring supports are used for lower or intermediate temperatures. If the vessels are operating at very high temperature, what happens is that these rings are encompassing or enclosing the entire vessel, and if the vessel temperature is very high, the vessel will try to expand, and the ring, although by conduction will get higher temperature, but some part of the ring being exposed to the atmosphere will be at lower temperature, so it will induce a sort of complex thermal stresses in the vessel, and you need to have careful attention with respect to how much clearance you are providing and other details which can become very impractical for very large size vessels. So the ring size supports are to be used with care or to be avoided in case you are operating very high temperature vessels. So that is the last point being discussed for the design of ring supports.